I'm going to say this is take 4. And the reason this is take 4 has nothing to do with this current video. It has to do more with my journey of why I got here. Long and short, probably will tell by the title, I bought a precision muzzleloader. And the reason I went this way was probably more out of frustration than anything. The frustration was from trying to buy, we'll say, a lesser precision muzzleloader that 3 times over, hence the 4th take, came with significant manufacturing defects. I just gave up. I tried to originally go with a Paramount Pro Colorado. The front sight, excuse me, the front sight on that came 2 of them 7 to 10 degrees off axis, which is no bueno. The 3rd one came with so much rust in the bore, it just wasn't worth the price point. And so that was a bit over maybe a year and a half ago. And so about a year ago this time, which is nothing necessarily related to the company that built this for me. It had to do more with some back order issues on the sight system here. But ultimately, I bought a precision muzzleloader, which is kind of funny to say in a 50 cal. A precision muzzleloader for Colorado. And the nuance of that is more that Colorado for elk requires 50 caliber at this point in time that I'm making this video. It also requires open sights, hence the Revic Exo Sight that's on here. So figure I'd maybe do an initial intro video talking about the setup here, the company that built the rifle, and then maybe do some subsequent videos down the road testing loads and bullets. So let's take a journey through the rifle. So I don't remember if I said in the kind of the opening, but Arrowhead Rifles was the builder of this muzzleloader for me. Luke and that team out there was great to work with. Kind of at the heart of this thing, we have their labeled Obsidian action. This is essentially a rifle action, so it does require a 4473 background check for the transfer of this. So just be aware of that. So this, most muzzleloaders, in theory, you could get shipped straight to your door, depending on the state and laws, but here in Indiana, that would be the case. That is not the case with this muzzleloader because of the action that it's built into. So, I mean, literally it could be one of those things if you wanted to, you could probably screw a different barrel on this and use it as a center fire. The one nuance to that is it is a single feed. So there's a bottom in here, so you could mag feed it. And then they also, the bolt face here is made for their primer modules, which maybe in another video I'll talk about the accessories that come with this. But well fluted, obviously to help with dust and whatnot. It does have some skeletonization, maybe make it a little bit lighter there. It is not one piece milled, it's a separate rail here. I do not know if it is has, it looks like maybe it is a 20 MOA rail that they put on there. Big long bolt handle. We'll have to see how this is, kind of going through the woods, if it gets caught on stuff or not, but I'm used to something maybe a little bit shorter than that. But that's, but this is a really, really nicely done action. You can maybe see there the bolt face and how you can essentially see maybe it's a little bit easier to slip those primer modules in. This uses a large rifle magnum primer set up, go into the back of the modules, and essentially you'd load your bore, drop your powder, bullets, and then once all of that's seated, you go ahead and when you're ready to fire, you go ahead and put your priming module in there and it's ready to go. So very much like a traditional bolt action. This setup, we'll say, is dual powder. I don't know if that's the right term, but I plan to shoot both Blackhorn 209, which I have a decent amount of that for when I hunt Colorado, and then Indiana allows for smokeless powder, which you can also shoot in this one. You cannot do that in all muzzle loaders. So the powder that Luke at Arrowhead had recommended is benchmark, so I have some of that. So that's the heart of the action here. You can kind of see in there the trigger mechanism. Had them put a Trigger Tech Diamond trigger in here. So a really nice trigger. You can set the trigger pull weight on that, so I'll have to mess with that a little bit. Normally Luke would provide the chassis that this would go in. I had some extra MPA ultralight hunting chassis, so asked him if he'd be willing to put it, the barreled action, into here for me, which I could have done myself, but they like to test fire them before they send them out, and so ended up not getting one of their chassis from them. So, but they do offer it if you don't have an extra one sitting around. I have other videos on the ultralight chassis, so I'm not really going to go into that. Maybe when I do the, we'll call it the accessories video, I do have some more flush mags for this that I think I'm going to mill the feed lips off of and maybe make them, if I can, like primer, make some primer holder, make it essentially a container to go up for access in the field. So I may do that. This, I believe, is a 26-inch barrel. They do have their own proprietary brake. I believe they make it. And get down here, you can see big old hole in the end of that. They do provide a funnel to work with that brake for loading your powder and your bullets through. So 26-inch barrel. They do go ahead and do treatment both in and outside of the bore, just help with the black powder for the barrel. So that's all coated. And then the thing that makes this a little bit different, and I mentioned earlier why I can use it for Colorado, open sight setup, and I want to say this is around $1,200 or $1,300 for both the, this is Revic / Gunworks, but under the Revic brand. This is the Revic Exo Sight. So it comes with this turreted open sight, and then it also comes with their sight post. And so kind of the way that you dial in your zero is going to be moving the elevation here. And then you can also see there's windage marks on the back. It does come with, you can screw this out. It comes with some different, I want to say, kind of, I don't know if they're reticles per se, but you can see maybe the one that's in there is pretty thin right now. So I'll have to play around with those to see what I can see, and more of like a darker environment. So I may have to go a little bit more coarse on some of the inserts that they have there. But the special part of this is here. Let's see if I can see it. Got the kids going upstairs with Easter. So I'll start here. So if you notice, the central part of this is flush. You see that center post rising out of the center. So you have 30 minutes of dial in this peep sight, this rear peep sight. So essentially you can dial for distance, making it a precision Colorado muzzleloader. So more to come on this. I think the plan will be get out and hopefully shoot some loads. Holy cow, the kids are going wild upstairs. Get out and shoot some loads, see how well this performs. Probably start at 100 yards and then maybe get out to long range and see how long we can lob some of these 50 cal cannonballs too. So if you have questions about it, you can ask them below. I probably won't put pricing down there. I don't know how YouTube is about that. You can always reach out to Luke at Arrowhead Rifles. But if you have curiosities, you need other, I'm gonna say, angles of what this is, but should be fun to figure it out and play around with a bit. Have a good one.